Thursday night smokes this week. Going for an Octomore. This is the 13.1. It's one of my favourite distilleries, Bruichladdich, as most of you know. In fact, this week I'm even using my Bruichladdich whiskey glass. As you can see, it's got their logo on it. I got this probably about 17 years ago, believe it or not. I'm amazed I haven't broken this yet. I picked it up with a bottle of the classic Laddie. They were doing it as an offer, and that's when I got it. It's interesting, for such a light looking whiskey, that is 59.2%. So it's very strong. But I'm pairing that with hopefully a very strong cigar, just to celebrate the fact I'm in a much better mood. Let's put that there because I'm probably going to have a bit more of that, to be honest with you. Now, two of my favourite cigars would be Bruichladdich and Bolivar. So this is a Bolivar. Haven't had one for a while. In fact, I've never had this one before. This is the limited edition release in 21. I believe it's only really become available in the UK this year, which shows you how behind we are in the Cuban market of them actually being able to release the stock to the rest of the world. So I'm hoping these two will pair very well. That's a very young cigar. I mean, the tobacco in that should have been aged about 5 years before it was rolled, and then it should have aged a couple of years before it was released. But there's still a lot of I would say you can still smell a lot of the pneumonia, you know what I mean. That, anyway, so it still smells, yeah, strong. So retro hell in that cigar will have a bit of a burn, but I'm still going to do it. It's got a very earthy, dry draw. A lot of sweet as well, actually. This should be really good. Well, at least I'm hoping it's going to be really good. It's something in a lot of my videos, you never really see me spend time lighting a cigar, mainly because I cut the process down, because it takes probably about 2 to 3 minutes to actually light a cigar properly. It's not something you want to rush, really. But that is perfectly lit. Oh. That is beautiful. Oh. Hasn't developed a lot yet. I mean, we've literally only got a couple of millimeters in, so it's just a lot of cedar, a little bit of pepper, but that's about it so far. I'm hoping by the time I get to about here, I'm hoping then the flavour should come up. So we'll see. So what I think about it, a couple of other videos coming up. I'm going to do one more bourbon video, mainly because a lot of you suggested I should do this, and also the two lads, Mike and Nate at Good Ash podcast. When I do the podcast with them, it's one that they really recommended I should try to get into bourbons, and that's the Four Roses. So I'm looking forward to doing that, actually, because so many of you have suggested I do it. It's like, well, I'm hoping that many of you can't be wrong. You never know, taste buds are individual after all, and I love this, but I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't necessarily like it because it's very punchy. And then I'm going to move on to the Irish whiskies. I pretty much narrowed down the first 4 that I'm going to do. Not going to let you know until I actually do those. They're going to be a bit more of a surprise, but yeah, so that's what I've got coming up in the future. In the next 6 weeks or so, I'm hoping to be able to tell you when we can start doing podcasts, because that's the other thing I want to start doing. I need to buy the equipment because I've got some of it, but I want to make sure everything's uniform. So I need new mics and a sound desk and stuff like that. So once all that is sorted out, I'll let you know when they're going to be available as well. I think actually the podcast might be a lot of fun, and we should all hopefully enjoy those. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy this lovely evening. Sun is shining. good dram, very good cigar. It's not as good as I would have liked, but it's getting there. It's developing quite well. Recommend definitely trying one. Don't know if I'd recommend buying a box. It would have to be very special in this day and age to buy a box. But it is holding up to a very strong whiskey. So it definitely has something about it. Anyway, I hope you all have a good weekend, because the weekend's almost here, and I shall catch you guys on the next video.